shares of Domino's are down about 5% this morning. Domino's seems like it has performed so well for so long as a business that now when they come out with their quarterly report, they're sort of in that zone of Wall Street analysts saying, we're looking for perfection. We don't know what numbers you're about to report, but ideally we'd like to see perfection. And Domino's third quarter report was on balance really strong. Revenue up 22%, same-store sales up nearly 5%. And yet both of those were lower than Wall Street analysts were looking for, and we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off.
Yeah, I'd give it the report like an A minus grade. It's an awfully good report, just looking up and down everything. I guess it could be summed up by, I think that earnings per share were up around 68%, something like that year over year. And yet that's not good enough. Why? Because same-store sales were up around 6% domestic. They were up 8% last year. And company-owned same-store sales were up 4.9%. I think they were expected to be above 6%. So, the same-store sales are not compounding at 8+%, but now 6%. International stores weren't growing as fast as that, but they're opening stores, they're buying back shares. It's a thoroughly good report, and the stock can't go up every day, despite appearances.
I suppose that's true, and certainly there are plenty of not just pizza companies, but there are plenty of restaurants that would be doing handsprings if they got same-store sales growth of in the neighborhood of 5%.
Yeah, and so they're expanding their menu, and they're getting a little bit of inflation. So that part of the growth is from just pricing. Of course, Papa John's is a mess, and they're doing well, I think, in part because Papa John's is not at full strength at the moment in terms of, competent management or management which is not embroiled in lawsuits with previous management. That's Papa John's we're talking about. So Domino's and others are getting a little bit of a tailwind from just having its main competition be as distracted as they are at the moment.
So I was down at the gym in our building this morning. I was on the treadmill. ESPN was on, and at various points, there were commercials for both Domino's and Papa John's. And I don't know why, but when the Papa John's commercial came on, the thought that popped into my head was, oh, they're sticking with the name. Like, of course, if they were going to change the name, that would be big news, and I would have heard about it. But just in the moment, I just thought, wow, okay, yeah, they're no longer featuring John himself because he's no longer with the company, even though he remains the largest shareholder. But I thought, oh, they're sticking with that name. They're sticking with the branding for now.
Yeah.
And Domino's, the Domino's commercial is this one where they're repairing the roads. Apparently have you seen this commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Where apparently there's some epidemic in America, and the epidemic is Domino's delivery drivers hitting potholes and the pizza goes flying. And we can't have that, so it's a clever ad where a Domino's branded truck comes in and crew, and they fix the pothole. But really, is that happening a lot? Can I order? Because here's the thing, I'm not so interested in ordering Domino's pizza itself, but if there's a way that I could place an order to get some potholes filled in Alexandria, Virginia, that I'm interested in.
I was in Boston, and
Speaking of potholes,
and I was around some neighborhoods where the roads are maintained privately, because I guess this is a Massachusetts thing. Some of the local governments have gotten out of the business of actually maintaining the roads and leave it to the residents to repair their roads at whatever point they can all get together and agree to spend the money to repair it themselves.
So me and everyone on my block, we just decide, we pool our money and we say, great, let's order the Domino's pothole truck.
Or not, as my experience was, that people would rather drive over really, really, really awful roads, or just skip driving on their own road somehow rather than pay the money to repair them. And so there may be a business opportunity for Domino's in certain localities in Massachusetts.
It sounds like a business opportunity for O'Reilly and AutoZone and Advanced Auto Parts, because if cars are and trucks are going to wear out more quickly there, that sounds like a move for them.